Okay, kids, today we're going to talk about something that might leave you a little cold, and actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of a pun. I hate to be the one to have to bring you guys this message, but when you're dead, you're dead. That's it. Maybe I didn't clear that up enough. When you die, you're dead. Maybe that's a better way to put it. When you die, you're dead. Hot take, I know. Some people are going to disagree with me, even though that seems obvious, but let's get into it. Let's take a materialist view first. We're going to take everything as straight physicality. Things physically exist, and that's the end of the story. If you follow that viewpoint, then the consciousness, the part of you that is aware, awake, exists inside of the brain or some other elements of the body put together, maybe the nervous system, depending on your viewpoint. And when you die, when that ceases to function, that part of you goes away. The rest of you that remains, which is the physical body, your remains, they may have other things happen to them. Maybe they get put back into the earth and become fertilizer, or in more modern times, maybe you seal them up in a box for some reason so that they can decay slowly and horrifically. I don't know. Maybe you get thrown into the ocean because you needed to sleep with the fishes, and those fishes will slowly eat your decaying corpse. Maybe you get cremated and then you get scattered into the air and you become part of the air particles, or you get allowed to go out into sea as cremated particles that will eventually go into everyone else's drinking water and will eventually drink you. Regardless of what happens to your specific body, what happens to a body when you die is it returns to nature, or it returns to the all, or the cosmos, or however you look at it. It becomes part of all the rest of the world that was around you that you didn't used to think of as yourself. In other words, you lose the part of you that is self and become part of everything else. And that's purely materialistic, but you can see how, from a spiritual side of things, it's the same thing. The idea that we have some kind of a soul or a spark, and then when we die, that spark returns to the all and becomes part of this grander spirit, actually follows the same line of thinking. Your physical body becomes part of the world, and your spark or whatever becomes part of the ethereal whatever. In either case, you are no longer you. You are dead. You are dead. Well, if we get into some religious stuff and you actually go somewhere after you die and there's a spirit or something, and it comes out of your body, or somehow it's like, hey, I'm a spirit, and then it goes somewhere else. Well, in almost every one of those scenarios, not all, but in almost every one, you get judged by something. There's either like you weigh your heart on a scale versus a feather, if you're in the Egyptian view of it, or you go to Hades. Hades decides how bad of a person you were, and he puts you in the place you need to go. If you go with Christianity, there's a heaven and a hell based on the virtues that you had in life. In any of these cases, what happens is always dictated by what you did in life. The way that the story explains it is, once you're dead, you can't get yourself into a different part of this whole setup. So in other words, the only time you have any actions that make an impact on the world or on your own self is in life, and then after that, for some reason, all of that's different. In other words, you're dead. You don't have the ability to make meaningful change anymore. You're dead. Oh, well, what about reincarnation? What about reincarnation? So you're saying that after you die, your soul comes out, and then it starts over again in another body? Do you remember your old body? Do you remember who you were? You don't? Well, then the person you were, dead. They don't exist anymore. What if it's more like the astral plane? I hear some people asking me, you go out of your body and then you go into a world you created or whatever. Cool. Are you still interacting with this world in the way you were? No. Are you going to be the exact same person you were here? No. That person's dead. What if we're all somehow grander spirits that are inhabiting these bodies, and when we go back to being them? Well, then you're not who you are here, and the person that's here is dead. What if it's all the Matrix and they unhook us and we wake up and remember, oh man, that was all a simulation? Well, then you're not the character you're playing here. We're just the avatar when we're here, and that avatar is dead. Does this mean that there's no way that consciousness could survive beyond death? No, that's not what I'm saying. It just means that the you that you are right now, the thing that exists that you're experiencing life through, this vessel, this combination of who you are, what you think you are, and what you physically are, that thing will die, and that death is irreversible. And you don't continue being the same thing after that. You may become part of some giant sleep. Everything just goes dark, and that's that. And actually, that sounds kind of peaceful. You may have some kind of life after death. Either way, though, you're not the same you. That you and all the makeup that made it what it is dead. Therefore, you're dead. Why am I saying all this? Why is this important? Because a lot of people live to die. Yes, that's true. A lot of people spend all their time like, oh man, I want to make sure that when I'm dead, something or other bullshit. Don't worry about that. You're not dead right now, and later you will be dead, and that's that. So do something right now. Go hug your family. Go outside and enjoy the day. Have a coffee or something. Do something fun. You only live once. It's true. You might have some part of you that can live multiple lives or something if you believe in that shit, but you will only live as this being once, no matter which one of the myriad of religions are out there. So stop bitching about which one's right. Go out there and do something. I want to thank my circle of magi for inspiring me to do crazy shit like this. And also, I want to thank everyone here who's watching. And until next time, just remember that eventually you're dead, but you're not yet, so safe travels.